Welcome back to another video, guys, and after all this hot weather I decided to be a little bit bougie and treat myself to a Bouge RV portable AC unit. I've heard mixed reviews online, but when I was looking for a portable AC unit, and I'm thinking about the doggos more than myself, so it was getting quite warm in here, and if me and Grace just needed to nip to the shop or just pop out for something to eat quick, I don't want to leave the doggos in here if it's too hot. So the AC is more for them, for me and Grace, but obviously if me and Grace get to benefit, of course we're going to let it cool the van down for us, aren't we? So this one is the Bouge RV pc35, which is 3,500 BTUs of cooling. It does say it's more for tent boxes and small RVs, so we're going to see how it goes in this van. I'm going to unbox it in a minute, try it in the camper. Now the temperature has dropped off a little bit, so it's probably not a super fair test for it. It's going to make it not a fair test for it, it's going to be a really fair test for it. It's not going to be a great test for us because it's not in the 40 degrees. The van's sitting at around 20 degrees tonight. But let's get it unboxed. Let's set it up in a temporary configuration. I'm going to set it up in between the seats, vent it out of the windows, and I am going to run it off my EcoFlow units, because if this does work out, I will install them at the back of the van so that it's an independent power supply. That's probably the only downside to this. It doesn't have a 12 volt supply. They are only mains, so it'll be running off the 230 volts, so you are going to need an inverter. And again, watching all the videos and reviews on it, it does say that you need a minimum of a 2000 kilowatt inverter to manage the spike of these starting up, which the EcoFlow does quite nicely. So I'm going to go grab them out of the house. They're not fully charged, but they'll do for now. We'll rig this up, we'll unbox it, and then let's see what it does in the van. See you guys in a minute. Right. Get me trusty little kitchen knife and let's open her up. I did want to use my hunting knife, but it's in the garage and I have backed the van up for tonight. So when we unbox it, we have the duct, which I believe is a 5-inch spiral duct. We have the vent clip, which is to clip onto the unit and then direct either the warm air out or the cool air in. We're going to be sending the warm air out. Put that over there. Some destructions and a draining tube or condensate pipe for dripping the condensate out of the unit. And no remote because this is Bluetooth controlled. So I am making a mess in this van. Chuck that out of the way. Actually, the unit's not as big as I thought it was. So nice handle on the unit, packaged up. Let's chuck that over there. Chuck that lock down there, and then we'll bring you down to have a look. So on the top of the unit is the control panel. There is the power lead, and then each of the ducts are taped up. So this is the cool air duct out, this is the fresh air in for conditioning the air and circulating, and then we've got the rear of it, which is going to vent the warm air out, and the air intake to cool the compressor down at the back of the unit. So let me go grab me EcoFlows, rig it up at the front seats, and then I will fire it up. Back in 1 minute, guys. Right, so we've got the unit plugged in. Let's turn it on. I've dropped it down to 16 degrees. Probably sounds super windy on my microphone. And we'll get fan speed up to 3. And then let's have a look at what it's going to pull on these EcoFlows. So it's not pulling a lot at the minute, guys, because obviously the compressor hasn't kicked in. So I'll just let it run for a minute until the compressor pulls in, and then I'll see what kind of wattage it's pulling. So I've turned it up on to high speed. It's pulling around 400 watts, and at 55% of the battery, that's going to give me 2 hours of cooling. And I've set up my room stat, which is showing, I don't know if you can see there, current temperature is 20 degrees in here, outside temperature is 19 degrees, and the humidity is 43%. So what we'll do, I'm going to leave that running for 15 minutes. I'm going to come back in and see if that's made any difference at all, guys. See you guys in 15 minutes. So we've left this running for nearly half an hour, guys. You'll see by the clock down in the corner, and it's dropped the temperature to 18 degrees, but also the outside temperature has dropped as well. So I'm not 100% sure that it's doing a super job of cooling. But we have turned it down because it was super noisy when I was listening to the video playing back. While I've been waiting for it to cool things down, and it is blowing some cool air out, but like I say, it's cool in here. I have also downloaded the app, which was super simple. So what I've done at the moment, that's showing it's down at cooling only, and I've turned the fan speed down to low, and I'm going to leave it running for another 10-15 minutes just to see what it fares like. But I think what I am going to have to do is really try this on a hot day, and then if it don't work out, the damn thing will be going back, because like I say, it was quite expensive. Now at the moment it's hardly used any power on my EcoFlows. So currently, even though my EcoFlows are at 53%, I've still got 4 hours worth of cooling left. So if I rig this up to a 200 watt solar panel on the roof, I've got a fast charger already wired up in the garage area. I can, oh, I wondered what that was. I thought there was an earthquake. It was a compressor coming back on. Sorry guys, that's why I was looking a bit weird. My seat started vibrating. That thing started vibrating next to me. But yeah, as I was saying, there's a fast charger in my garage area in the back, already above the Truma diesel heater, where I can wire my EcoFlows up and have them charged up. The idea of them is for charging up my e-bikes, but I am thinking if this does work out, I can run a socket down here to the garage and then run this independently of my main power system. I could also run it off the main power system. I've got plenty of batteries in. But for now, I'm going to leave it for another 10 minutes and we'll come back, have a little play with the app, and then I will give you my final thoughts. Day number 2. I didn't think it was much of a test yesterday. It was 18 degrees and I wasn't really happy with the results I was getting, so I wanted to wait till today. So today, the van is 33 degrees inside, so that's much better to test this thing out. So again, I've got it set up on the EcoFlow. I've just brought one out. I haven't brought the extra battery out, so we can just give it a quick test. Got it plugged in. The time is nearly, let's say, we'll wait till 6:15. So it's 18:13 at the minute. So what I'm going to do, just wait for a minute. That's clicking around. We'll run it till 6:30. So what I'm going to do now is turn her on. I'm going to hit it to rocket. I could have used the app. That's going to start to kick in. It's pulling 450 watts nearly. I can feel the air coming out of there is nice and cool. I can't really hear that condenser kicking in, but I'm sure it will. So I'm going to leave that running now for 15 minutes. It's just coming up to 6:15 now. So I'm going to leave this running for 15 minutes, see if it makes a difference. I know it's not going to make a huge amount of difference, I know, but this is a bit of a better test. It's warmer in here. The air that's coming out does feel cooler. It does say that you can feel it 10 feet away, and to be fair to it, when I was getting in the bed last night, so unit is just there, and bed up there is probably about 10 feet away, and if I stand here now, as I stand here, I can actually feel that. Stood here now, I'm what, maybe 7-8 feet away, and I can feel that quite nicely, and it is cool air on me. So yeah, let's leave this ring thing running for 15 minutes, see what it makes difference to the temperature in here, and then we'll leave it running a little bit longer, and hopefully we'll get a bit more of an idea. That's pulling nearly 500 watts now. According to that, 500 watts is going to take 2 hours on this one battery bank, but we'll see how she goes, see how it kicks in and out, and then if it actually cools the van. See you guys in 15 minutes. So we're nearly at the 15-minute mark. I'm just going to give it a little bit more time to work. I thought I'd just show you the air coming out of the unit. You get it in there, look. It's around, well, that's getting down at 9 degrees. That's getting really cold. So if I come back here and get it on the fins, that's sort of registering around 13 degrees air coming out into the space. So that's quite impressive. And let's just spin this round. So we're getting close to the 15-minute mark, and it has dropped the camper van by nearly 6 degrees. So that's actually working. I'm more impressed with it today than I was last night. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to leave it running for a further half an hour and come back, see how much juice it's used. It's down, it's used 15% in 15 minutes. See how cool it can get the van. Alright, outside the temperature is cooling down as well, so I know things are going to start dropping off. But it at least gives me an idea that that's some nice cool air coming out. I can feel it. It's starting to hopefully take some of the humidity out of the air, condition the air in the room. But yeah, I'm going to go eat some scram, come back in half an hour, probably be a bit of a t-shirt change, and we'll see how it's cracking on. See you guys shortly. Lovely tea by Grace. So it's just been a little bit more over the hour mark, but in that time, in an hour, we've dropped nearly 9 degrees. So from 33 degrees to 24 degrees. Weirdly, the humidity's gone up, and I think with the aircon unit, the humidity is actually supposed to go down. That could be the outside humidity that's affecting it. Like I say, everything's not closed up in here, so not sure on that one. But it has definitely cooled the van. Is it enough if the van was 40 degrees and in that super hot temperature? I say outside is starting to cool off, so that's going to help the van cool down as well. But it does work. What are my thoughts on this? It's okay. I'm only going to say okay. I'm not going to say it's amazing, because it's not amazing. I've also, let's have a look down here, see that just over an hour it's used 55% of my EcoFlow, which again, that was running at turbo for that whole hour. I have just turned it down, so hopefully it won't be too windy. It probably is still windy on the microphone, but hopefully not too windy while I'm talking to you guys. But it uses quite a bit of power. It does cool it down. Does it cool it down enough in the height of summer and in Spain? I don't know. I'm a little bit on the fence. I'm not sure whether to keep it or not yet. I'm going to give it another day or two, and if it doesn't heat up in here enough for me to test it when it's really warm, I may send it back, and I may look at the EcoFlow unit, because like I said, this is only 3,500 BTUs, and I think the EcoFlow Wave 3 is 6,500, so that might be the better choice. I do want this to work, because I do want to be able to keep the dogs nice and cool in the van I can't think about worse than going out, having a meal or something at night time and the dog's overheating in the van, because that's just never going to happen. So I'm going to give it a bit more of a test, but I would definitely recommend this if you've got a smaller unit. It's a nice compact unit. I've got it sat on the stool at the moment. Super simple, super easy to set up. The app is really user friendly, and it is quite good that you can run it off your portable power station, but it is more of a subject stroke space heater, so it cools the area around. I'm sat talking to you now, it's beautiful cool air blowing on me. But if we get to the bed at the back, it don't quite get the same feeling at the back of the van. So if you're wanting it for sleeping at night time, you'd probably have to set the unit up on the kitchen top. But then you've got the issue where excuse me, where you're venting it, whereas at the front it's nice and easy. You can get the templates, the plastic infills that go in the window, and vent it nice and easily out the window. But yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you found it semi-useful. It's a bit of a review on the Bouge RV pc35, which I have bought with my own money. I'm just not sure if it's impressive enough for what I paid for it. So like I say, I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to test it a little bit longer. You'll see in future videos if I've actually kept it. So follow along. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a little comment down below. It's completely free and it completely helps the channel grow. I'd really like to make this into something really good, so that I can share all of my trips, my adventures, my crazy ideas, get them on YouTube, give you all a little laugh, and hopefully you enjoy it. See you guys in the next video, but for now, see you later, bye.